Hello, everybody, and welcome to an episode of BigTon Plays Everquest. Yeah, this is Project 1999, an Everquest emulated server, and I am trying to kill giants. This is by far one of my favorite video games. I've played this game on and off since it came out. And I wanted to show you a little bit about how I go about soloing as a shaman. I'm level 52, obviously an ogre. So I'm going to attempt to try and kill some of these guys. Talk a little bit about what I do to get it done. So first off, I'm going to try to pull this guy. Hopefully I don't get both of them. I'll pull with Mallow. Came by himself. I'm gonna root him. Try and get out of his way. Back my pet off. The pet, I use the pet more to like sort of hold him in place while I land spells. Start out by hitting him with Plague, because it lasts a lot longer than the other one. To make this efficient, you kind of have to let the dots actually tick for their full duration while you meditate, with a little bit of cannibalize in between, which transfers hit points into mana. You don't want to do it too much, because you won't be able to take any hits if they actually break through your root, which I'm using in still because it has like a 90-second duration, so it's like my longest lasting root, even though it is only level 34. So I balance the health mana as best I can, and then time my Envenom Bolt, which is my big damage dealer. Basically, you're just going to sit down and meditate while your dots tick away. Throw Cannibalize in there every now and then.
It is not rooted.
So when root breaks, I try to get the Instill on them. Run to the other side. Sit down, call off the pet. You have to keep smashing the back button, because the moment the pet gets hit again, it's going to aggro the mob. So you just have to keep spamming it until eventually your pet gets off of them. You can't see on the screen, but I have timers.
Envenom Bolt has worn off.
From a program called Gina, which monitors my combat log. That's what that notification was, letting me know that my Envenom Bolt just wore off. So I can see roughly how long it's going to last, because I have a timer on my screen. So I know that my Plague is about to wear off relatively soon, because it's about to, the timer's about
Plague
to wear off.
has worn off.
See? So Plague wore off. So I'm going to go ahead and reapply Plague. It only ticks for 55 damage, but it lasts like 3 times
Regrowth wore off.
as long, so my health regen just wore off, so this is a bad situation. My health regen spell Regrowth costs 300 mana to apply, so I'll probably try and hold off on it and hope that my root lasts. But it's going to take away from my ability to cannibalize, because I'm not regenerating my health. And obviously he breaks root. So the pet taunts him, so sometimes he won't melee me, he'll melee my pet. And it lets me get free casts without risking getting hit. That's why I use my pet. Because on this server, if your pet does the majority of the damage to the enemy, it steals a lot of the experience you would gain. I'm going to go ahead and reapply my Envenom Bolt because he's almost dead, so one more application probably
It
will
is
do
not
him in.
rooted.
That was a fizzle. If you've ever played Everquest, you know what a fizzle is. Basically, it takes half the mana that you would have spent, and you don't actually cast the spell. Irregardless of your skill level in that spell category, which for Cannibalize is Alteration. So even though I have maxed out Alteration skill, I still have a chance of fizzling, which is one of the mechanics that's in EverQuest that adds to the difficulty. Since he's trying to run away now, I'm going to go ahead and apply my regrowth because I don't have any risk.
Envenomed Bolt has worn off.
I don't have any risk of getting meleeed by him because he's going to try and run away. So I'm going to focus on keeping him rooted. Send my pet in to try to take off the last bit of his life. Just
Plague has worn off.
Cannibalize the rest of the way. Envenom Bolt wore off. Plague wore off. Luckily, my pet was able to do enough damage to kill him. We got a Foreman's Tunic, as well as a Emerald. Nice. Now these guys drop coin and cash items that you can sell to merchants. So this is a pretty lucrative camp for getting some platinum. So I think that giant Foreman's Tunic right there sells for like, I want to say like 60 or so platinum to a vendor. I think the Emerald's 12 platinum. The giant tree flare I got before, I think is like 12 plat. Black Pearl, I think, is a few platinum. So far, so good. I think I'll do one more kill and then call it an episode. The part of the difficulty of EverQuest, and one of the reasons I think it doesn't appeal to certain players, is because of the downtime. Right now you can see I'm not actively playing the game, I'm just sort of sitting here waiting for my mana to come back. And normally, this is the time where you would be, interacting with your group members or your guild or something of that nature. But when I play, I typically would tab out and watch a YouTube video or maybe do some kind of research or something of that nature. It appears that some of my buffs are wearing off, so I'm going to go ahead and redo some of my clicky buffs. It's a mana-free clicky item that I can click on that lets me cast Furious Strength, which is a strength buff, so I'll cast that on myself as well as on my pet. Strength increases your attack rating, which increases your maximum amount of damage that you can do with melee. It also increases the likelihood that you'll hit the enemy that you're fighting. I have another item that allows me to increase my agility, which is a slight armor class boost. And if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you kind of know what armor class is. It decreases the likelihood that you'll be hit, and if you are hit, it decreases the amount of damage that you get hit for. So I usually make sure that both of those buffs are up on me and my pet the whole time. If I were in a group, I would also make sure that all my group members had it as well. I'll make sure that my regrowth spell's still up, which it is, for another at least 13 minutes. So once I get to full mana, I'll go ahead and pull this next giant. And using the same strategy that I did before, I'll whittle him down. If I have full health, I can go ahead and cannibalize. And I just stare at the bars and watch them tick up slowly and time it so that I can be sitting by the next time I get a meditation tick. Because in this game, you only gain mana every 6 seconds. And it's not randomly every 6 seconds. It's like a set timer of 6 seconds. So you can actually be running from point A to point B, and you can actually time sitting down while you were running, and you would actually catch those med ticks. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and try to kill this giant here by pulling him over here. I'll use my Mallow, which is a resistance debuff, so that he resists my spells less often. This game rolls dice in the background. You don't see it, but it's rolling dice. So even with that resist debuff, there's still a chance that he'll resist your spells. So I'll let my pet on him for a few seconds, and then I'll back him off. Call my pet over here. I'll throw my plague onto him. Meditate for a little bit. Get ready to hit him with
It is not rooted.
So sometimes root will break because of the direct damage that my spell just did to him. So I gotta spam the back off button. I'm gonna cannibalize here a little bit. Try to recoup some of my mana in exchange for some of my health. Watching the mana bar tick up to try and time the med tick with my cannibalize. So that while I'm waiting for the med tick to happen, that's where I'm cannibalizing, so that I sit down when the tick happens. It's a way to maximize the amount of mana you're getting back. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with Envenom Bolt to help push the DPS. Listen for the root break. Okay, it didn't break. I'll go ahead and sit back down. I got a med tick. I'll cannibalize. Watching for the med tick again. Trying to cannibalize when it ticks. It's just a waiting game otherwise. This is an efficient way of playing the game, getting experience without having to search for a group or maybe
It
going
is not rooted.
to a place you don't necessarily want to go to.
Envenom Bolt has worn off.
Come over here, sit down, back my pet off. And then he's down to 21%, and Venom Bolt wore off. Not quite enough damage from Plague left, especially
Plague has worn off.
since Plague is about to wear off, which it just did. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with an Envenom Bolt. This should be enough damage to kill him. Now I just got to make sure that I keep him rooted so he doesn't run off, because there's a named sitting right there. That named has really high magic resist, so he'll actually be an epic feat to be able to kill. Which I think I might try to go ahead and kill him on camera, seeing as he spawned. I believe he is level 50 or 49 or something. He's really high level compared to the rest of these guys. A little bit of gold on that guy. A little bit of a letdown. And I just got to make sure to meditate. Get my mana back, and I'll give that Gorgle Pack Lock a try, and we'll see how well I do. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to do this. If I remember right, he has a really large amount of hit points compared to the rest of these guys. I'm going to go ahead and refresh my regrowth. It has 7 minutes left on the duration, but I don't want it to wear off in the middle of fighting him, so right before I pull him, I'll make sure that I have a fresh regen on. I think I'll also refresh my Spirit of Wolf. Actually, I'm gonna Spirit of Wolf as well as levitate myself, because if I need to, I can run away, which is what I think I will do. Getting all nervous. Now, I play on a different server that's the same emulated Everquest like it is on Project 1999. It's called Project 2002. And on that server, I made it to this camp and fought that Gorgle Packlock. Pretty much got wrecked. And I had a 3-man team that I was trying to kill him with, so we'll see how it goes. So we're getting really close here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and levitate. And we will also redo our regrowth, just to make sure it doesn't fade in the middle of this. What I'll do is if I'm starting to get overwhelmed, I'll just let my pet tank him, and I'll just go running. Probably what I'll do is run off, and I'll try and camp out, because that's an immediate aggro wipe. If you didn't know, in this game, enemies don't stop chasing you unless you zone, log out, or die. So I'm going to try to use the same strategy I did before, which is to pull them with Mallow, get them rooted, and then just slowly rot them away. So we'll see how that goes. Pull them slightly to the side here. That way, as I run through him to the sides, I can get him to line up at a better position so that if I get a respawn where he's standing there, I'll be out of the way enough that I don't get an additional mob. One more tick, maybe? Alrighty. Wish me luck. Here we go. Okay, so far so good. No resists. Got him rooted. Back our pet off. Try to land plague.
The target resisted.
So that's not good. Already resisting. Try to hit him with plague again.
It is not rooted.
Broke the root.
Manilow interrupted.
So far, getting my butt kicked. I think I'm just going to go ahead and camp out now. He is way too hard. Well, it was a valiant attempt, but he already got me to 50% health, 50% mana, so... yeah. I'm not high enough level, and I don't have good enough gear to be able to deal with this guy. So I'm just gonna camp out. And I will call this an episode. So as you can see, it is doable to solo with the shaman, even if you don't have the best gear, using the strategy of keeping them rooted and just slowly rotting them away. Sometimes, though, you have to just, like, cut your losses, especially if you get overrun like that. That guy was way too powerful, so I'm just gonna have to kill around him. But thanks for watching. If you liked the video, click the like button. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. You can also click that little bell icon to be notified whenever I post new videos. If you have any suggestions or constructive criticism, you can post comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next episode.